Kurt Crespin.
Here.
David Zavala.
Here.
Emmanuel Temez.
Here.
Brett Bates.
Here.
Rob Evans.
Here.
Kristen Swartz. Here. Lance Clark.
Here. Okay. I do, in reviewing the agenda, we do have one change that I need to request tonight. Item number 1 in new business is a proposed agreement for law enforcement services and security services. And item number 13 was a late addition to the agenda, which was to approve proclamation 24-02, a proclamation of the City of Lamar designating the month of April 2024 as National Child Abuse Prevention Month. I would like to switch those two and move number 1 to number 13 and number 13 to number 1. That way the group with the proclamation can leave and not have to go through the whole meeting. So with that said, can I get a motion for that?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to allow the agenda. This will be a verbal vote. So all those in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Okay. So we will move on to the next item on the agenda, which is the consent agenda. You've all had a moment to review those. Do we have any questions or items that need to be separated out? I didn't see any bills that need to be separated. Anybody else? I did not. Okay. So do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as submitted. Any final questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Next item on the agenda is the audience participation portion of the meeting. During this portion of the meeting, anyone may speak on any subject that does not appear on the agenda. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each, and of course, that's at the discretion of the council. Is there anyone here tonight that would like to speak to the council on an item? Okay, seeing none, of course, I want to remind our community that this is a perfect time if you have questions, comments, concerns. We leave this open for everybody to come in the community, and even if you're outside of the community, to come and address the council. So I want to remind everybody that you do have this opportunity. We make it very open at every beginning of each meeting. So if you feel like you're not being heard, take advantage of your time during this public portion meeting, okay? Moving on, we have the city treasurer's report. Kristen?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I wanted to give you first a quick grant update. Last time we spoke, we were working on the application for the wastewater treatment plant through DOLA. That was submitted on 4/3. Tara reached out to Rob and I, who's our regional DOLA representative, and we have our first meeting with her regarding the application on May 1st. So we're excited that that's moving along. And we also, I guess you have an agenda item later on, we were able to submit a CCOG grant on 4/5 for improvements to the dog park. So that's a quick grant update and where we're sitting. We're still under our on-site audit. It's going well. We are under that until Wednesday for the on-site portion of that, and then we'll be continuing to work on audit items until July. So I just wanted to let you know that that's going well. And then I have one more thing. We were, as most of council know, there was a lot of talk before election last year about this backfill, property tax backfill. The bill was passed in the last election and what that would look like. I got some information back in March. I had to fill out a survey, which included some statistics and financial information on the fire departments. And so I submitted that and sent it back in. And then today I received information that they are going forward now with the push out of the backfill for property taxes. They're going to push that to county treasurer's offices on, I believe, April 15th, and then that will be dispersed out. To the municipalities and surrounding areas. So Lamar is looking at $108,446 for this year coming our direction. Now, when it first happened and we had to do all that stuff on the fire departments, we thought that that money was specifically, for some reason, going to be tied to the fire departments. So I talked to a CML attorney today that had been supplying me with information and answering questions, and she stated that it is to backfill the city general fund's property tax, but you have to keep in mind the fire department while, for that money, because what they did was we're not a fire district, so fire districts are getting their own backfill, so they wanted to make sure that there was a piece in consideration with that money. So I was able to clarify that this afternoon. So I just wanted to pass that along. And I'll keep you posted on that.
Okay.
And that was all I had, unless somebody had questions for me.
Thank you, Kristen.
Any questions from the council?
I don't have any.
Thank you. Thank you, Kristen. Moving on, we will move to the city clerk's report. Linda?
So our February sales and use tax collected in March was $395,034.37, which is up 7.13%, or $26,297.14 from 2023. Our year-to-date collections are $1,400,606.51, which is up 8.20%, or $106,130.38 from 2023. And other than that, that is all I have, unless you have questions for me.
Any questions from the council?
I don't have any. I don't have any.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Linda. Moving right along, we will move to the city administrator's
All
report.
right. Well, first, I would like to agree with you. This is a really busy but exciting time. We got a lot of things coming up, and we got spring clean going around, a lot of activities. I would like to remind all the council that CML conference, June 18th to the 21st. So, keep that on the calendar. Remember about that happening. Here pretty soon, you're going to see Lamar Outdoor Sports, their grand opening on Friday, April 12th at 9:45. Let's see, Gary's Backyard Smokehouse and Barbecue will be serving throughout the event. And let me see, at 10 a.m. to 5:30, they're going to have open that day. And I'm telling you, Gary's Smokehouse has got some good barbecue, so come on out there and enjoy it, and all on Todd's dime, so he'll pay for it. All right, Coffee with Rob, April 17th at Rivals, and April 24th at the truck stop. We have a cornhole tournament on April the 27th, 11 a.m. to Lamar Elks Lodge. I know that we've had a lot of push to come up with some more cornhole tournaments, and we mentioned the Corporate Cup, that we're going to try to eventually come up with a standardized sets of these things. We haven't made a lot of, we're going to have that happen, and we're going to increase our activities in cornhole. The LCC Foundation is holding their 6th The Boots, Bling, and Blessings fundraising event on Saturday, April the 13th at 6 p.m. The event will be at the LCC's Equine Complex Indoor Arena, and I have it on good authority that there's still plenty of room if you want to donate, if you want to be a sponsor. They will take them all the way up until we start time. So it's growing, I believe. I believe there's a lot of interest, and so please come on out there and enjoy some good food and some fun games. Let's see, projects update. In the fun part, I would like to keep up, and I'm going to give library first dibs here. If you come up to our library and you walk up to one of the ladies where you normally say it's supposed to be quiet, if you say, "My library rocks," they're going to hand you, or let you choose one of your own prizes. So they have books and all kinds of games, and if kids come up there and say, "My library rocks," you're going to get free prizes. They got a whole bunch of them down there. I did it today. I did it really loud too, so they probably wanted to give me one to get out of there, but it's a lot of fun. Public Works, I mentioned there's a lot of things going on this year. The streets and the sanitation, they've been working on the clay liner out there at the landfill. And let's see, we have, doing the springtime water well cleanup and prep for the water that we're going to be using this year. A lot of work done this week. The fire, I want to commend all our fire guys. They've had several times where they've had fires, and a gas leak all at the same time, and they were able to handle them So there was a complete loss on a shed. There's all those guys have been above, every year I've been here, their caseload and their incidents are going up, but those guys are safe and they've been really good. So I want to say good job on fire. The police department, they got the second Durango in operation. Good job there, Kyle. We also have a cadet in the academy, and he's doing great, and I believe he's going to have, we've already scheduled his post-certification time, right? All right, good. We have, with our community development, we've had 132 responses on our survey, and that's a pretty good start, but the deadline is on 4/26, and we want to really push it for as much input as we can. We've got a pretty good demographic setup on who's responded so far, but we want to say thank you for your participation. If you have anybody else, please, help us out, and our plan will be that much better for however much input we have, so.
So
thank you very much.
this is for the online
Cross-
survey?
the Crossroads
That's
Horizon
what was in your mailer that came in with your utility bill. There was a mailer. It's also on the Facebook page if they want to find it. Is that correct? Okay.
When's that deadline? April.
And what was the deadline one more time?
4/26, so April 26th.
Okay.
So, Ms. Jenkins and anybody else who has any other questions, I'm here for anything that you have.
So I have been asked about, I know every year when it gets to this season, we start getting the big rainstorms and flooding, and does the Public Works go through and check the sewer drains and make sure,
We do.
see if any preventative? I just wanted to ask that so they would hear this.
So there's two things that related to that, is there's a rotation schedule where you have to clean out certain things without, and it has to do with our insurance, so we have a regular rotation of cleaning these out. But before these times happen, and especially before we start getting hail warnings, we have to go out. If you remember a couple of years ago when we had a really big hail right before a really big rain, and it knocked all the limbs and leaves off and clogged up our drains and causes backups, that we're doing more of a preventive, guys getting ready and cleaning these things out way ahead of time. So we're trying to not let that happen again.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
I do have two things.
Okay.
I tried not to.
I know.
I went to a soccer game for my granddaughter this weekend, and the parking, it's lots of parking, but it's horrible because people just park anyway. Is there any way they can
Striping.
get out there and put
We've
stripes?
already got that scheduled, and it will be happening, so you're going to be pleasantly surprised.
I had several ask me about it, so
Yes.
I said I'd bring it up.
They blocked that new parking. They blocked
Yes.
the in and
Yes, that's for the striping. We're going to get it finished, and it'll all be good.
in there.
I know.
And my second one is, I always go around I call it the ponds, Valco Pond, on Saturday and Sunday. And are there signs out there that, or something that people can use those bags to clean up their dogs?
We have that on the plan as well, and I told Anthony that we were going to be putting up poles, cans and bags. We have not bought them yet, so
Because some people said it's gross when they're walking around.
we do have some cans out there, but I don't think it's designated straight as your doggy bag ones.
Yeah.
And we're going to have actually doggy bag stations. We're
Okay.
putting up at all of our parks. I'm not going to say we have 50 on the
Right,
way, but we do have a plan to address that one.
Okay.
Yep.
Those were my.
Including the cemeteries as well.
Okay, thank you.
When you, and you probably already have addressed this, but when you go to paint at Escondido in the parking lot, can you just double check, make sure we have good accessible parking, handicap parking?
Yes, that's
I'm sure you
right.
probably addressed that.
We have some temporary ones already, but I will make sure.
Yeah, if you could just double check that, because I know it's a big,
I got you, I remember that one.
okay. All right, anything else from the council? Any questions for Rob? Nope. Okay, we will move right along. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it. All right, reports and correspondence from the council. We'll start off over here with Joe. Do you have any reports?
I haven't been to a golf board meeting for some time. It was conflicting with the planning and zoning, so I spoke with Stephanie to see if we can do something different there. So I went down there and I got some information from the guys. Here, they've had a couple of tournaments here not too long ago. One was called the Sod Busters, and That was just recent. That was just this Saturday. So can you imagine the golfing and the kind of weather that they had? You know,
Perfect.
Saturday. Yeah, perfect. Perfect.
Perfect wind.
But they said it took off and the guys had fun that played. They also had another one that just recently took place, and that was called the Icebreakers. I believe that was kind of the same situation, you know, tough weather, but the guys had fun. The course today was closed for the Thunder Girls. The high school Thunder Girls golf team was out there today playing in a tournament. And I was told that there was about 3 teams that went out there. So hopefully they get more participation out there in the future for the girls golf team.
Great.
And Wednesday, they plan on shutting it back down again briefly to do what they call dressing up the greens. And they're looking for help, volunteers out there to dress up the greens, Jack. And they're going to have a few more tournaments take place. Well, they've got several each month for all the way up until September. The next one, I believe, is going to be called the Redneck Olympics. So just use your imagination for that. I've never played it, so I couldn't tell you what it's like, but it's coming up here shortly. And they elected a new board member, and his name is Rick Akers. So everybody's familiar with that. And that's about it. What's going on out there?
I just want to add that the girls team did win today as well.
Oh, wonderful.
Great.
Wonderful.
Awesome. Okay. Shayla?
I have nothing today.
Okay. Gary?
I don't.
David?
No, I don't. We got a meeting coming up for the planning and zoning.
Okay. Have a meeting on Thursday.
Nothing for me.
Okay. I did have a meeting with Rob and Karen Bryant at Prowers Medical Center today. Still working on the summer event where we'll be joining Prowers Medical Center and High Plains Community Health Center for our annual picnic. So that's moving ahead very well. Martha's doing a great job getting that worked out with them. Their planning and delivery is going very well and very strong. They've had 124 plus births there at the new birthing center. So very excited for them on that. And they're working on their new surgical, I can't remember what that was called. Basically, it's a sterilization area at the hospital. So they're doing some more development and renovations over there. So very good things happening at PMC, and we wish them the best. Aside from that, I did have the opportunity to speak and read a proclamation the other night for the Child Abuse Prevention Month, and we'll be talking about that here shortly in the next item on the agenda. So I will lead into that item unless there's anything else from the council. I think. Okay. So the next item on the agenda is to review and approve Proclamation 2402, a proclamation of the City of Lamar designating the month of April 2024 as National Child Abuse Prevention Month. It looks like we have 2 representatives here, if you wouldn't mind coming up. And would you mind telling us who you're with and what it's all about? Just giving us a brief overview.
Sure. So I'm Ryan Ward, and this is Rosie Gomez. I work for Public Health, and she's the director at the Cornerstone. And April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and last year we started it. It's going to be an annual event. It's called Plant the Pinwheels. We do it at the Pocket Park downtown, and we offer free food to families, and we do a kind of like a resource night, and we kind of collaborate with all of the people in the community who kind of help with that child abuse prevention piece. So like the Cornerstone's a really great resource. Public Health and WIC, we have Lisa Thomas who helps coordinate that, and she does the About Face program. The library helps with it.
Powers County Public Health and Environment.
Yeah.
Powers County Department of Human Services.
And then every year we give an award to like a champion in the community who really kind of helps, that goes above and beyond to kind of help with some prevention efforts there. And this year we gave it to Katie Mae Smotherman. So we're really excited to give that to her. She does a great job and helps with a lot of things through DHS and child. So we're excited to give that to her.
Safe Care Colorado with High Plains Community Health Center was also a partner in that, so, and Powers County Youth Council. So we had a few different, there's a few of us.
Yeah.
And so we had our first one, and thank you for being there, and it went really good. We had a great turnout. There's another one coming up on Sunday. It's called Pins for Prevention Family Bowling Event. It starts at 3:30 to 5:30, and it's at the Lamar Lane. So anybody that wants to take their children to go bowl, and same thing, Preventing Child Abuse Prevention Month. So same partners will be doing that one as well.
Yeah, it was a great turnout. You had quite a few people there,
we did.
attendees as well as vendors. So, yeah, that was great. I guess not vendors, they were information booths. Like
Yeah.
that's
Resources, yeah.
Resources, yes. Well, thank you for inviting me and Jerry to that. So Jerry attended with me. So we do have a proclamation here. I've read it once before, but I'll read it again. And that way we can get a vote of the council, so we can do this on behalf of the city council. City of Lamar, proclamation for Child Abuse Prevention Month. Whereas every one of the more than 1.2 million children in Colorado today deserve to be valued, healthy, and thriving. And whereas children are the future employees, leaders, and neighbors, and will shape the future of Colorado. And whereas positive childhood experiences build healthy families and strong communities. And whereas childhood trauma, including abuse and neglect, is a serious problem affecting every segment of our community, and finding solutions requires input and action from everyone. And whereas childhood trauma can have long-term psychological, emotional, and physical effects that have lasting consequences for victims of abuse, and whereas everyone benefits when we focus on addressing underlying causes that lead to health and social inequities, and whereas we all have a role in ensuring that children have positive experiences and that families have the resources they need when they need them. And whereas when parents, caregivers, families, friends, and neighbors, employers, and elected leaders work together to increase the 5 critical protective factors in families' lives, that is when we can prevent child abuse, strengthen families, and build brighter childhoods. And whereas effective child abuse prevention activities succeed because of the partnerships created between the child welfare professionals, education, health, community and faith-based organizations, businesses, law enforcement agencies, and families. And whereas we acknowledge that we must work together as a community in partnership to build awareness about child abuse and contribute to promote the social and emotional well-being of children and families in a safe, stable, and nurturing environment. And whereas strengthening families remain the best defense of our children and families. So we would just need to get a motion to approve this proclamation by the council, if you agree.
So moved.
Second. So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
All right. Now, therefore, we, the City of Lamar, Colorado City Council, do hereby proclaim April as National Child Abuse Prevention Month in Lamar, Colorado. And we urge all citizens to recognize this month by dedicating ourselves to the task of improving the quality of life for all children and families. And I will sign this on behalf of the City Council. Bring this up to you. And today is the 8th. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for the work.
Thank you.
Yeah, no claps.
Yeah. All right, so, next item on the agenda, we have another proclamation to review and see if we can get approved for Arbor Day. This is a presentation of Tree City USA Award and the announcement of the activities regarding Arbor Week and Arbor Day. First one was to review the proclamation. So we do have a group here today, our Arbor Board. If you'd like to come up and tell us a little bit about this proclamation, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay. We'll give you a little synopsis of what we're up to.
That would be great.
Okay. Anyways, there's Nan. Are you guys not coming up?
Yeah, you made him hold that side last
Yeah.
year, so.
You might come over this way facing the camera.
This is Kim Van Hook, Jack Van Hook, I'm Jane Felter, Nancy Idler, and Dewey Norfleet. Anyways, we are celebrating this year our 33rd year as Tree City USA. We received notification that it was awarded once again. And we want to thank Drew Griego, who is on your city crew, for his excellent record keeping, because we can't do it without him. He maintains our records of what trees, how many trees they chop down, how many stumps, how many trees they plant, and we keep track of planting too. But anyways, he does an amazing job and makes my job easier to enter it on the Arbor Day website. So Arbor Day 2024 will be celebrated this year at the North Side Park in Lamar. And we're going to plant 10 trees with the 5th graders from Parkview Elementary School. We purchased our trees from Home Store. I'm just going to give you a quick tree of what we're planting. We're going to plant 2 15-gallon espresso Kent coffee trees. They don't grow coffee though. And then 2 7-gallon, 6-foot tall hackberry trees, 2 Redmond linden trees, 1 Sensation box elder, 1 prairie rose, 1 symmetry maple, and 1 red point maple. So we're trying to introduce, and these are good for our area as long as they get water. And so we're going to make sure that they're watered well and everything. And we were going to plant out at North Gateway Park, and we were excited about that. But after we all had a big discussion, city crew, us, and we just decided there wasn't enough water access yet. So we were going to do the dog park. So what we're getting ready to do now is plant these 10 trees there, and then we're going to come back in the fall and buy some more trees, and the dog park should have water access by then, and we'll plant then, because we have to have water. As you can tell, trees do not do well around here without water. So the next thing we have invested in this year, I saw these in El Paso, Texas, and all the big cities use them. They're 20-gallon tree watering bags. They are fit around the trunk of the tree, and they hold 20 gallons, and then they seep slowly into the water, into the dirt. And so we're going to try these. We bought 30 of them, and we're going to see how well they do in areas where our water isn't as plentiful as at the parks and cemeteries, etc. And they're not very expensive, so we're hoping. Anyways, the guys took the 30. We'll see how they work this year. Anyways, it's a new to us product. And then the 5th grade poster contest was held, and our 5th graders at Parkview School participated, and we mailed off the winning poster March 28th. And then we are also getting ready to open up the other side of the property where the Pollen Grove is, which is our tree nursery here in Lamar. And if you're not familiar with it, it's north of the Hope Center, about a block from there. And it's called Pollen Grove. It has a sign up and everything. Ira Pollen gave it to us years ago, donated it. And it used to be a trailer park. And we had trailers on it for a while that we got money from, but they, of course, have disappeared. So we have to have Atmos come in and locate the gas lines that are there. They're probably still active, some of them. And then we've got people willing to donate manure that we're going to mix in with the hard soil because it's really compacted. And we're hoping to open up that whole big area this way. We're already have trees planted this way, and then it's amazing how much it saves us in growing trees. And we emptied the nursery last year, so now we're looking at putting in a bunch more. So anyways, we're hoping Arbor Week will begin the Sunday before Arbor Day on April 28th and last all week until Saturday, May the 4th. So,
Okay.
okay?
So now we just have our proclamation that I can go ahead and read if you're okay with that. All right, this is a proclamation to celebrate Arbor Day. Declaring April 30th, 2024 as Arbor Day and April 28th, 2024 through May 4th as Arbor Week. So, whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees. And whereas this holiday called Arbor Day was first observed in the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, And whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, and whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cut heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce life-giving oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife, and whereas trees are renewable resources, giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of our business areas, and beautify our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Council, would we like to vote on this?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve this proclamation. All those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of.
With that said, now therefore, I, Kirk Crespin, the mayor of the city of Lamar, Colorado, do hereby proclaim Tuesday, April 30th, 2024 as Arbor Day in the city of Lamar, Colorado, and I urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. And I urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden the hearts and promote the well-beings of this and future generations. I will go ahead and sign this for you. I have a copy.
Do you mind signing this one also?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Actually, if that's the one you want, you can. Oops.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for the work you do.
Thanks a lot.
No, I'm just gonna sign it. That was for now.
Did you get the copy you needed
Oh, no, I need a copy.
Yes.
of the agenda, so you can put it, okay,
Yes.
I'll get you a copy.
Yes, so we merged item 2 and 3 together with the proclamation and the presentation of the USA award and activities. So we'll move on to item number 4. This is for the appointments to the Public Safety Board. This was
It's me.
the Rob. I was going through my list here, sorry.
So, as you guys know, we've attempted this a couple times, and we've put effort into this one, and I have good news that we have 4 people who stood up, and I'm going to recommend that you guys allow them to form the first full quorum-capable board that we've had, and the 4 people are Mike Duffy, Don Williamson, Marcia Riley, and Terry Martin have all filled out applications, and they've all passed the background checks, and everything is good, and we really, really hope they're able to get us going on this type of board. I know it's been a struggle, but I think that we have some momentum now, and I'd like to see this be a success.
I would agree. I think it's long overdue. I know we've been working on this for a couple of years now, so it's great to see us get to a point where we can have a full board with a quorum.
Yep.
All right, questions from the council?
So on here, it's looking to specify their terms.
Right now, they don't have their bylaws written, so we're just right now, it would be 2 years for everybody, and let them come up with their bylaws and how they would want to appoint at that point.
So how many board members do we have right now completed, Rob?
We have 1, and I would like to make it 5, because that was when you guys originally came up with starting the safety board, it was for 5. We could always go more or less, and if we have more people that want to be in it, I would be entertained, that'd be good. We could probably move Ms. Jenkins off and let her be an advisory and non-voting member, so I would say we still have an opening if you can find somebody that wants to come up here and be a part of that. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. I don't want to speak for you. So.
No, that's fine.
So we have we have the 4 different candidates. One is Mr. Mike Duffy, Marcia Riley, Terry Martin, and Don Williamson. What would the council like to do?
I'd like to make a motion to approve all 4.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve all 4 candidates. Any final questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of.
congratulations. You're now committed for 4 years. All right, well, thank you for serving on that board, and it will be an important board for us as we, especially with the new police chief and changes that are happening in our public safety, so, yeah, the service is appreciated.
Rob, will you be setting up a meeting time for us, or how do you want to do
I will be contacting you, and you and I can work on this, and I'll contact all of them to make sure they accept.
Okay,
You know, and then we can set up, and it can be like the third Thursday or whatever we.
just let me know, and I'll be more than happy to help.
So as a council, we make a lot of the legislative decisions, but we rely heavily on the people that we work with, whether it's the staff or whether it's the boards. And so these positions are very important. We have another appointment for another board, which is our Airport Advisory Board. And I'm mentioning this because we have quite a few different boards that have open members. So if you are in the community and you're watching tonight, if there's something you're interested in, whether it's water, airport, public safety, whatever it may be, check with the city and see if you can get involved in one of these boards, because these are the boards that give us advice on what we should be doing and how we should make the decisions for our community. So they're very important to be fully staffed. So we'll move on to the Airport Advisory Board appointment. Rob?
So we had two members that had in February, their terms expired, and the board met and asked them if they would, you know, be up for reappointing, or would they accept if they were recommended again for 5-year terms. Both Dean Reed and Cameron Rogers said yes. So that's what we're asking, that you guys appoint them for 5 years.
Okay. Any questions from the council?
I don't have any, but I'd like to make a motion to appoint both for the 5-year terms.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any final questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Okay, moving right along. Item number 6, motion to ratify approval to provide letter of support to Lamar Community College to submit with their grant application for congressionally directed spending funds. This was initiated by Rob as well, but it looks like we have a person here from the college.
Come on up, Ben, I'll let
Would
you
you like
talk.
to speak about this, Ben?
Not really, but. So we just asked to get a letter of support because LCC had asked to the congressionally directed spending funds to provide money to turn the baseball field, city field, well, no, it's not, is it? Merchants Park, from natural grass into a turf field, which would allow us to use it a lot more frequently, and also to bring in tournaments over the weekend and over the summer as well, and just that ability, so.
So he came to us and asked, would we write this? And I know that we did a phone poll, and now we're just ratifying to make sure. I know that we came up on a hard deadline for the application, and I'm sure they saw the success that we've had here at Lamar and getting congressionally directed spending, so a recommendation from our council is good to have.
Well, we were just talking about that this morning, about how our senators really stood for us and helped out rural Colorado and supported us on our CDS bill, so hopefully it'll be successful. Council, do you have any questions? Seeing none, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve or ratify this phone poll. All those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
There you go. Good luck and best wishes on it.
Thank you.
Okay. Zipping right along, we have Ports to Plains update with Mike Duffy. This is an informational for the city council, just to give us an update on the Ports to Plains conference that he attended recently.
Wow. Okay, it's interesting that I follow one congressional. This is the second one that's going. For those that are not familiar, Ports to Plains update was created several years ago to create a major interstate from Mexico to Canada And one of the things I learned, and I thought this was pretty good mantra, this whole Ports to Plains basically comes under the category of food, fiber, and fuel. You look at those three components or commodities, that's basically what this interstate is all about. Agriculture, we all know the feedlots, fiber, the cotton fields down in Texas, moving across the United States, and then, of course, fuel is the big thing. Three values of this trip, and I pulled a lot of this from not only the trip, but basically Joe, who is our president of Ports to Plains, summed it up. These values of this trip, one is to strengthen the relationships with our congressional delegation, which I think was said previously. We've maintained quite a bit of good congressional spirit amongst our Senator Hickenlooper and Senator Bennett, as well as our representatives. Second, second, strengthen relationships with our federal agencies, such as the USDA and the Federal Highway Administration. And then number three, strengthen the relationships within the Ports to Plains Alliance. And I really got to know a lot of these people over the week that I spent in Washington, D.C., from the president, Joe Kiley, who is one of the assistants, wasn't able to make it, but he was there via Zoom and phone calls quite a bit. We visited with Hickenlooper's office, Bennett's office, even right down to Jason Crow's office. One of the biggest things about this interstate, and you'll notice it's in the packet, you'll notice there's a map there. And what was really interesting is the Friday after we all left, President Biden signed the Interstate 27 designation. Specifically right now, Texas over to New Mexico up to Raton. That was one of the biggest things we talked a lot about, is it's great that it goes up over to Raton and up I-25, but when you look at the population, I'm losing my train of thought here. When you look at the population aspects for coming down to about 2050, growth on the Front Range is going to be phenomenal. So this is the reason why, and you look at that map in your packets, they've got Interstate 27 to Raton, but also there's a segment that's Interstate 27 North, which comes up through Lamar and connects in at Lyman up 71 to basically the Heartland Expressway, which goes on up through Nebraska into the Dakotas and to Dickinson, North Dakota, which is the border up there. So there was a lot of it. A lot of it was hinging on getting appropriations. One of the factors that brings back to Lamar is we've got a reliever route out here that it's slowly getting into the works, but that's one of the things is that reliever route, which will take a lot of the truck traffic off of Main Street, make Main Street a little bit safer. I know it's not a popular thing with businesses, but I think in the end, it's going to be a good thing, just from a safety standpoint. The other thing that I think we need to focus on is, right now, Lamar is the only city in the Eastern Plains that is really on board with getting this up through the Eastern Plains. We need to work on getting Baca County, the rest of all of Powers County, obviously, Kiowa County, all the way up through to Lyman on board. Strength in numbers. I was talking to somebody earlier today, and they agreed. It's strength in numbers that's going to make this happen. How many times do things happen? And it's like Front Range, Front Range, Front Range. We count out here on the Eastern Plains.
Yep.
So, kind of made it short and sweet, but I think, if you look at what I included in your packets, that is the same thing that we handed out to Senator Hickenlooper. We didn't talk with them directly, we talked with their legislative aides. And really, when you stop to think about it, those legislative aides are the ones that really do the work for the senators and the representatives and everything. Any questions?
I don't think so. I think a big challenge has been getting the support of CDOT. We've talked
Exactly.
about that many, many times, and hopefully if you can work on that and work on, with Joe Kiley and the Ports of Plains Alliance to get suggestions, recommendations on how we could maybe have some kind of an effect on that, or have some different support with trying to get the support of CDOT, that would help as well.
That's
So-
going to be a big thing right there. We've got meetings at the end of this month with TPR. Help me out.
TPR.
TPR, thank you.
TPR.
As well as CCOG.
Okay.
To try to get things rolling. My predecessor, Bev, she was instrumental in moving this thing on through the past several years. And I still kind of want to work with her
Yeah.
and keep her in the loop as well. Because basically, I don't want to be just starting all over.
Yeah.
There's a track record that's been moving right along,
Well,
and
that
we
would
just
be
need to
great.
continue that.
Okay, any questions from the council? I know we still have a lot of items on the agenda, so.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you,
Okay,
Mike.
thank you.
All right, moving right along. Next item on the agenda is approved bank resolution for the Lamar Utility Board check signing. I believe this would be Kristen.
It's Linda.
Oh, it would be Linda.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Linda.
City Council has authorized all members of the Lamar Utility Board to sign checks for the City of Lamar and Lamar Utility Board. I'm bringing this because after the November election, I did not update signature cards. So we do have a new member at LUB that needs to be added to their signature card for their check signing. And I am just asking for approval to do that.
Okay. Council? Can we get a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Okay, next item on the agenda is very similar. This is authorization for check signing for the City of Lamar.
Again, after the November election, we put Manuel in as Mayor Pro Tem. I need to add him to our signature card. Do I have approval to do that?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Shayla was a second. All those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
So,
Manuel abstained.
yeah, unanimous in favor of with Councilmember Temez abstaining.
Thank you for thinking of abstaining. All right, moving right on, we have the award bid for the new financial software. I believe we had a work session on that earlier. Was it the council's desire to proceed with this or to table?
Table, like.
Make a motion to table it?
Second to table it until those are brought forward. Thank you.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to table it. All those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Okay. Next item is the network penetration test. I think this would be considered a network audit, security audit, is that correct?
Yes.
So this is initiated by Thomas Sanchez, our director.
Good evening. A while back, council gave us direction to go out and find a vendor that would do our network audit. And we contacted a few companies, 4 actually, and none of them really gave us what we wanted, or what I wanted. A lot of them were software as a service and monitoring companies, but they weren't a true internal and external penetration test. So the company that I recommend is Artifice Security. They are out of Denver, Colorado, and I've talked with the CIO, he's the owner of the company, and had a good conversation with him, and the contract's in front, the agreement is in front of you, the dates have not been set. Pending approval of the agreement by you, we would throw some numbers in, or some dates in there. It has been reviewed by Lance, and I don't believe he sees any issue with it legally, but No, I don't have any issue with it. And it's my recommendation to allow council to, to allow the mayor to sign pending council approval.
Thomas, I have a question. Can you kind of explain it a different way for the public to understand what we're doing here?
Yes, it's a security audit of all of our systems. Basically, they are going to test our network from the outside to see if they could get in and find any vulnerabilities. They will also test from within, should somebody be able to get inside of our network, and they will notify us of those deficiencies as well. We will be presented with a report. I imagine there's going to be a technical report that I'll receive and an executive report that I'll bring back to council. And what that is it's just a list of remediation and recommendations saying that we found this vulnerable area and probably need to work on that. And there's degrees of how severe each one is, and I think that they are listed in that order, which ones you should do first. So basically, it's they're checking all our locks and making sure that nobody can get through the door.
Thank you.
When was the last time we had this done?
7 years. It's been a while. I believe it's 7 years.
I do see in here that we're looking at the penetration testing and vulnerability assessments. Are they going to be reviewing any of your internal processes as far as?
They do not. There is another company that they recommend that they just do the audit, and they recommend another company. I'm talking with them to help us look at a IR, an incident response plan, a data destruction policy, and even a facility policy to see who has access to our data as well.
Right, that's what I was wondering more about, your policies, procedures, third-party patch management, things of that nature.
Yes, there's another company that they recommend.
So you'd be doing this separate in
Yes,
that part?
yes.
Okay. All right, council, do you have any questions?
I don't have any more.
No.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. Any final questions?
Allow the mayor to sign.
So, and you need to allow the mayor to sign. So we have a change of the motion. Do we have a change of the second?
The mayor sign.
Okay, so we have a modification of the motion to approve and allow the mayor to sign as an update with no other questions. All those in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is approval and signature of agreement with Royalty Construction for Main Street Beautification Project. It's initiated by Martha Beard Alvarez, our Main Street Manager. Martha?
Hi, so at the last city council meeting, you guys approved the Main Street beautification project to be done by Royalty Construction. I should have brought this together with the initial request, and so this is just so I can have the approval and signature of the agreement with Royalty Construction so they can start on the project.
Okay. Do we have any questions for our presenter?
Any problems with the contract plans?
Standard contract that we've refined a few times. I don't have any issues with it.
Any other questions? Seeing none, do we have a motion?
So moved.
So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we had shifted around our agenda and moved the approval of the proclamation to item number 1. And now the item that was number 1 is here. That would
Correct.
be-
This is our standard contract for after-hours security services. We were contacted by the after-prom committee
They requested us to be present for the press party and then also for the after prom. So we'd be present from 6 to 7:30 for the press party and then 11 to 1:30 a.m. The total contract is $225. We will be there during prom too. It's just a different committee. That's done through the school district. This is before and after the actual prom. So I'm just asking for council approval and allowing the mayor to sign the contract.
And we don't need to do another contract for the other?
We do the
portion?
school district yearly because we have so many we do with them. So I don't have to come back and visit you guys every year. We just do a yearly contract with them.
Okay, just wanted to clarify. All right, any questions from the council?
No issues with the contract, standard contract. Even though he didn't send it to me ahead of time, it's standard contract.
55 days.
54.
So made for it to be signed?
Second.
So we have a motion and a second to approve and sign. Any final questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Thank you.
There you go, thank you very much.
There you go.
All right, miscellaneous items. Do we have any miscellaneous items to go over with the council? Any questions, comments, concerns? General crazes? I do have one thing I wanted to add. I did get a letter the other day, an email. As a mayor, I always hear all the complaints. I go to Walmart and I hear complaints, and people are very verbal, which is rightfully so. But I did get an email the other day about a community member who had put in a request for some assistance, and our street departments had came in and did a wonderful job helping them clear out some trees in their alleyway and backyard area. So she was just expressing her gratitude for their great work and service. And I just mentioning it because, it's also good, not just for the council to hear these things, but for the staff to hear them. Our staff does an amazing job. Our Public Works Department does an amazing job daily, and every department. So it's good to see them get the recognition that they deserve. And I do thank that individual for sending that email, and I did make sure to pass it around and send it to his supervisors and directors. So thank you for that. So the next item on the agenda is an executive session. We have two executive sessions. Three executive sessions, sorry. Discussion of personnel matters, including evaluations for senior staff members under CRS 246402, subsection 4, subsection F, for a follow-up regarding city clerk, treasurer, city administrator's annual reviews. Number 2 is to follow up with the city administrator for directions for the city council under CRS 246402, subsection 4, subsection F. And number 3 is for a conference with the city attorney for the purpose of receiving advice on specific legal questions under CRS 24-6-402, subsection 4, subsection B. There will not be any decisions coming out of this. This is more informational based and discussion and direction based. So there will not be any discussions or decisions coming out of this meeting. So after the executive sessions, we will adjourn the meeting directly. So with that in mind, do we have a motion to move into executive
So
session?
moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to move into executive session. All those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
All right, well, thank you very much for coming tonight and attending online. Our next meeting is Monday, April 22nd, 2024 at 7 p.m. We hope to see you then. Thank you.
No, she doesn't.
First to the
Broken leg.
You're,
We clear?
it keeps falling over.